Family and friends, we're going to begin the funeral service of Mrs. Jeong Lee. If you have a cell phone with you, please make sure that it is off or in the silent mode. Officiating today's service is David Kong.
On behalf of the family, I warmly welcome you to this memorial service for our beloved wife, mother, grandmother, aunt, and our loving friend, Mrs. Lee Jeong Hye. 오늘 이 모임은 우리 사랑하는 이정혜 자매님이 참석하신 후기 성도 예수 그리스도의 양식을 따르겠습니다. 또한 참석하는 분들이 거의 영어를 하기 때문에 앞으로는 영어로 진행하도록 하겠으니 많은 양해를 구합니다. We'll begin our service, our memorial service, with heavy hearts, but I think she would want us to feel glad and happy for the future that holds for all of us. We'll begin this service by singing from page 293. The words are printed here on the right side of your program. Each life that touches ours were good. And then our invocation will be offered by Lee Myung-ju, Mike Lee, the oldest son. We'll go to that point in the program.
Our Father in heaven, we are grateful that we can gather together at this time in remembrance of our mother. We thank Thee for this life that we have, and we thank Thee for our mother for giving my brothers and I this life. We ask Thee to bless her at this time, that she may be at peace. And we ask Thee that we may feel of Thy Spirit during this time. And we say these things in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now will be our opportunity to hear from the family members words of remembrance and tribute for our dear Mrs. Lee. First, we'll hear from the second son, Lee Young-ju. He'll be followed by first son, Mike Lee, or Lee Myung-ju. And then we'll have the third son follow him, and that will be Stephen Lee. And then we'll have a memorial poem read by a granddaughter, Sophie Lee. And then lastly, we'll hear from Mr. Lee Kwang-woo, her husband. So we'll go to that point in the program.
I don't know why I'm suddenly so nervous, but as David Kong introduced me, I'm our second child, Young Lee. So I don't know exactly the reason why I'm the first one to talk, but maybe it's in the order of her least to most favorite son. But my mom would often say to me, you're the most like me. You're the most like me. And I would hear it particularly a lot the last few years. And I took that as the greatest compliment. Because my mom was great. She was great. Maybe not as great as King David. She wasn't a murderer or an adulterer, but you won't find her in the Bible. And maybe she wasn't as great as Nephi, who was also a murderer. You won't find her in the Book of Mormon. And maybe she wasn't as great as Martin Luther King Jr., who was also an adulterer, not the greatest family man. And you won't find a holiday celebrating her. But my mom was great. But like those great men, she wasn't without her flaws. But compared to them and a lot of other great people, her flaws were so small and insignificant. I'm not going to mention too many of them today. My mom, if nothing else, was very ambitious. She expected a lot from herself and her family, particularly her family. And I remember one instance, I came home so excited. I had straight A's, except one A-. My first year in middle school. And I ran home from school because I was so excited. And this was not a small run. Our middle school was miles away. But I was a good runner too, so I couldn't wait for the bus. And I met her on the way home. She was in the car. And I told her, Mom, I got straight A's except one A minus. And she said, why'd you get the A minus? Get in the car. We're late to Stephen's Hope of America Award. And my mom, if I can say, this is why you're talking last. She adored you, if I can say. She adored you. She would, even to her last days, she would tell me about you. How smart you were, how much potential. I remember a conversation in particular. She told me that, because she knew that sometimes we felt she might have played favorites. And she said that my father's grandfather told her, so my great-grandfather, or anyway, he told her, tell me about your two oldest ones. Not exactly like that, but pay special attention to your youngest. So he's going to be special. There's something special about him. And if I can say, my mom had one regret in her life. It was that she was not a family person that she could be. She wished she spent more time with her family. And I know that that's one thing my mom respected so much about her youngest, is that he is a very family-oriented person first. Loves his kids. And would do anything for them. And she really admired that. And wish she had that attitude first. I don't know if family was always first. I think sometimes, like I say, my mom was not without her place. Maybe her ambition sometimes came first. And sometimes I think we may have felt that we weren't her priority. That, I think, was her biggest regret. And then, I'm looking at my brother Mike now, and he's looking at me. He just looked away, because he knows I'm going to say something about him. And if there was anybody who gave more, loved my mom more his whole life than my brother Mike, I don't know who. I remember one time my brother Mike, who would help at her restaurant all the time, came home, not the greatest grades from school, and my mom was so upset that she forbade him to come and have him help her at the restaurant anymore. And he was devastated, because he loved to help my mom from his youth to his very last days, her very last days. And but as much as Mike loved my mom was not the easiest person. And my brother and I had a wonderful summer vacation with our mom. How lucky. I mean, it couldn't have been better timing in hindsight. We got to travel with our mom to Korea. And my alone time with her, I got to spend 2 lovely days with my parents-in-law. Were so gracious to her. And we had a lot of fun, if I can say. 2 of the best memories I'll have. We visited my father's ancestors' grave sites. I mean, in hindsight, how amazing was that? We were able to honor our dead ancestors, and my mom couldn't have been prouder of my father's ancestors. I had a very lovely time with my mom in Korea. But again, as much as my brother loved my mom, he had 2 very tough days alone with my mom. He traveled to Korea with my mom on the airplane, and he traveled back on the airplane with my mom. And as much as my brother loves her and would say nothing bad about her, it was tough. It was tough flying with her, being with her, because she can be demanding. And that leads to me to tell you a little bit about my father, who lived with her. They were husband and wife. And I think if there was anybody that my mom, though I know she loved my father, gave a tough time to, it's my dad. And my dad, I think, tried his very best. Dad, you did your very best. You are an amazing father, the best. And I think you tried your very best as a husband. She was not without her flaws. She was not easy to live with. You did your best, Dad. We love you. You're amazing. And I know that my mom definitely here somewhere looking down on us, watching her funeral. I just want to tell her how much we respect her, because that's what was the most important thing for her, is to get respect. She wanted to accomplish things and be a person of importance. She was. She made 3 wonderful sons and 10 amazing grandchildren. She was great. She was amazing. And if I could say, Mom, please forgive us, because we weren't without our flaws. We could have been better sons, better husband. We also tried. We loved you, Mom. And we certainly respected you. There was nobody more impressive than you. She was, if I can just give a brief history, I know I've been talking long, but if I can just give you a brief history, she was born in 1940, as our program says. But if you walked in the door and you saw the program outside, it says she was born in 1941, because she was born a girl. And this was 10 years before the Korean War. So, I think they were like, why bother? She might not live to her first birthday, because it's a big trouble, big hassle. Let's just wait. Let's see if she makes it. And not just her. She was the second daughter. So it happened to her older sister too, as my cousin Sungchul told me. Yeah, she has 2 birthdays. They have 2 birthdays because it was tough just to make it to the first birthday. My mom lived to 85. She did good. And 10 years later, the Korean War broke out, and it was tough for everyone. But I can't imagine it was too much tougher than it was to my mom, who lost her father, who was, a male, in a male-dominant society. So she grew up tough. And I knew that firsthand. Man, I didn't know anybody tougher than my mom. I don't know anybody work harder than my mom. I'll put her up against anyone. She went into the restaurant business. She came to America when she was 37. 37. Not speaking any English. And I remember her crying one time at home because she couldn't speak the language. Before I knew it, she opened up a restaurant, rickshaw. Then she opened up Lee Smile Market. Then she opened up another restaurant, China place, and then another one, and then a motel, and then another motel, and then built a Holiday Inn Express from the ground floor up. That was my mom, who came here when she was 37, not speaking a lick of English. She hardly spoke English when she died. It was amazing. She did all of that. This is a true story. She was great. Mom, we loved you. Mom, we forgive you. And we thank you for what a wonderful mother you were. And we loved you, Mom. Thank you.
I mean, how can I top that, you know? That was So, mine's going to be 10 times shorter. Just because Young just basically said, and more. Everything that I wish I could say. I just want to just say that my mom died a happy woman. She was doing something so she was telling me for the past year and a half, 2 years, that she found her joy, and her joy was painting. And when you go to her apartment, you can see, she started painting when she was in her 80s, and she can paint 20 times better than I can ever paint. And she was so passionate about painting that when I talked to her, half the things that she would tell me was her painting. And when we went to Korea, she bought thousands of dollars worth of stuff so she could paint when she came. And I said, Mom, why did you spend so much money on it? She goes, because in America, it's like 4 times more expensive. And when we went into her apartment the day when we first time we went into her apartment after she had passed away, we could see that she was in the middle of painting, that she must have ran out of some kind of supply. And that painting was my brother Steven's family. And when we walked in there and Steve saw that, he broke down because she was in the middle of doing her most favorite activity with the person she loved the most in his life. And I'm very grateful that she was able to choose that moment to go back to her Father in heaven. And everything Young said was right on. So we love you, Mom.
Thanks everyone for coming. The youngest son. This past couple weeks, have been kind of surreal. Sorry. I sort of thought my mom was indestructible. Just too tough to die. There are a few times she had some stuff happen to her that should have killed her. She's just too tough. Anyway, this weekend in particular was supposed to be a fun weekend. My brothers had already bought plane tickets a couple months ago to come celebrate my mom's 85th birthday. But instead, here we are. But I guess in some ways, the funeral is also a chance to celebrate her life. It's already been mentioned, and I think everybody who knew her would agree. She was one of the hardest working people that anybody knows. My memory of her when we were younger is that she would work 100 hours a week, literally 100 hours a week, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, running a restaurant. But she would stop in the middle, not part of the way through, come home and make us dinner. So she did that, and she fed us. She was also, in my opinion, the smartest person in her family. She had an incredible IQ. For fun, sometimes, I'd show her some puzzles, some math stuff. I studied math. And I was just shocked how easily she solved these interesting problems. She never had a chance to get an advanced degree because she was born in 1940 in Korea. If she were born in modern times here in America, she would have killed it. I know this. I'm like my wife and like Mindy, both doctors. For sure that would have been her too. But instead, she spent her life wrapping egg rolls and cleaning dirty motel rooms. So in some ways, I feel sorry for her. But ultimately, I'm glad she was born. because we're all here. And brothers and I are here because she led the life she led. Because we're here. Her grandkids are here. And so it's tough, but I guess it turned out good. Okay, thanks everybody.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm my dad Mike's second daughter. Grandma, she really liked to paint, but she also really liked to make calligraphy art. And she would write out all sorts of poems, both in Korean and English. So I'll be reading a poem in her memory. It's called Warm Summer Sun by Walt Whitman. Warm summer sun, shine kindly here. Warm southern wind, blow softly here. Green sod above, lie light, lie light. Good night, dear heart. Good night, good night. Thank you.
많이 참석해 주신 모든 분들께 감사를 드립니다. 우리 아들들이 다 말을 많이 했기 때문에 내가 할 수 있는 말은, 제 안에는 공부하는데 많은 관심을 가지고 있었기 때문에, 내가 한국에 있을 때도 미국에 가서 공부하라고 격려를 해줬어요. 그래서 미국에 온 지가 1976년도. 그런데 와서 난 아무도 모르는데 사람들이 미국에 왔으면 와이프하고 애들도 다 데리고 오는 게 원칙이지, 좋은 땅에 와서. 그런데 제일 중요한 게 뭐냐면 교육하는데 제일 좋은 땅이에요. 그래서 여기 애들 다 같이 와서 그 다음에 바로 와서 애들 공부 잘하고 또 공부 열심히 할 수 있도록 격려를 너무 심하게 했기 때문에 문제지만 그래도 다 잘하고 있었잖아요. 지금까지. 너무 감사하고 또 가족들을 너무 사랑했기 때문에 그것을 다 표현할 수 없을 만큼 사랑했는데, 내가 하고 싶은 말은 뭐냐면 우리 세 아들들, 가족들 다 열심히 하고 있으니까 이제 마음 편히 하고 우리 후에 다시 만납시다. 이상입니다.
We want to thank all of you that have been here and also been a friend and loved her throughout her life. We sincerely thank you for that. And as you heard, she loved life, but she adored her family and always cared for them. And I want to invite those 10 grandchildren to write a memory tribute for her, so that you will have your own way of remembering her and find closure about her life and her legacy. We'd like to close this meeting by singing from page 152. God be with you till we meet again. And the benediction, the closing prayer, will be given by her daughter-in-law, wife of the first son, Sister Lee Jung-suk. And right afterwards, we'll head to the burial place, and we'll have a short ceremony there. If you could join us. Thank you.
Be with you till we meet again. By his counsels guide uphold you. With his sheep securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. When life's perils they confound you, put his arms unfailing round you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet again, till we meet again, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet again, till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. Keep love's banner floating o'er you. Strike death's threatening way before you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet again, till we meet again, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet again, till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again.
사랑이 충만하신 하나님 아버지, 오늘 저희가 함께 모여 하나님의 아름다운 자녀인 고 이정희 어머님의 추모 예배를 드릴 수 있음에 감사드립니다. 모임을 주관하시고 준비해 주신 분들과 이 자리에 모이신 모든 분들을 축복해 주시옵소서. 온 생애를 사랑과 헌신으로 살아오신 어머님의 삶에 늘 주님의 손길이 함께 하셨음에 감사드립니다. 이별의 슬픔 가운데서도 부활의 소망으로 위로받게 하시고 우리 마음속의 그리움이 감사와 평안이 되게 하여 주시옵소서. 남은 가족들에게 주님의 위로와 축복을 가득 부어주시고 어머님께서 보여주신 도전과 사랑의 길을 본받아 서로 더욱 사랑하며 주님의 뜻 안에서 살아갈 수 있도록 축복해 주시옵소서. 이곳에 모이신 모든 분들의 발걸음을 기억해 주시고 장례 일정을 마치고 안전하게 돌아가실 수 있도록 축복해 주시옵소서. 어머님의 사랑과 헌신에 진심으로 다시 한번 감사드리면서 이 모든 것을 예수 그리스도의 이름으로 기도드립니다. 아멘.
Ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude the service here at the funeral home. We'll now prepare to make our way to Montrose Cemetery. For those of you that are joining us in the funeral procession, we ask that you please turn on your bright headlights and hazard lights and leave them on at all times while driving in procession. We will be going through red lights and stop signs, so please stay as close as safety permits to the vehicle in front of you and use your horn liberally at intersections. Please disregard any red light cameras that go off. They will not ticket you if you are part of a funeral procession. As we leave the chapel, if you would like to pay last respects to Mrs. Lee, please form a line on the right side here, starting with those closest and working our way to the front. And then proceed to the hallway as we prepare to escort her from the chapel. If you have been asked to serve as a pallbearer, please wait outside these double doors once you get to the hallway. Thank you.